Today I'm gonna walk you through how to build Unreal Engine from source. But first, why would you even want to do that? If your game needs a dedicated server for networking, you won't be able to build this version of your game using the standard Unreal Engine from the Epic Games launcher. For that, you need a source build. Having access to the source code also lets you modify the engine itself, so you can tweak or extend it to better suit your needs. And when it comes to debugging of shipping builds, using the source version allows you to step into the engine's code. This makes finding bugs in the final version of your game a lot easier. Now, to get started, you first need both an Epic Games account and a GitHub account. The Unreal Engine source code is hosted on GitHub, but you cannot access it until you link those two accounts. For that, go to the settings of your Epic Games account, then under Apps and Accounts, link your GitHub account. Once you have finished that step, check your GitHub profile and navigate to Your Organizations, because here you should see an invite from Epic Games which you need to accept. With that done, you can now go to the Epic Games GitHub profile and access the Unreal Engine source code. Check the link in the description to get there quickly. Next, you have to install Git on your system, so you can download the engine files. In this video, I will be using GitHub Desktop as a visual client. It is simple to use, though not as powerful as some other visual clients or the command prompt. After you have installed Git and GitHub Desktop, open GitHub Desktop, log in and go to File, Clone Repository. Because if everything worked, you should be able to scroll down to find the Unreal Engine repository. Alternatively, you can visit the repo page directly on GitHub and copy the repo URL and paste it in the URL tab in GitHub Desktop. Very important note: choose a short, simple local folder path to avoid issues during the build process. That can happen if your path to the engine is too long. Also, make sure to choose a drive with plenty of free space left. Downloading and building Unreal Engine from source takes up a lot of space. For me, it ended up using over 250 gigabytes. But once you have cloned the repository, you can switch to the specific engine version by selecting a different branch. Or just stay on the default release branch to work with the latest stable version. Now, to compile the engine, you will need Visual Studio. Download the free community edition from the link in the description. When installing, Epic Games recommends to include the following components for Unreal Engine: .NET Desktop Development with C++, and Game Development with C++. After installation, go to the folder where you cloned the Unreal Engine repository to. Here you will find the setup.bat. Run it by double-clicking and it will update certain required dependencies for your engine. After the process is finished, look for the generate project files.bat to generate the Visual Studio solution. Here you might get a warning that a recommended compiler version is missing. To add the version, open the Visual Studio installer, click Modify, and switch to the individual components tab. Here you can select and install the appropriate version that is missing, which in my case is this one. Additionally, if during the build process later you should find out that you need another .NET version, you can also install it from here. After installation, if you run generate project files again, you will see that the previous warning is gone. Once you have generated the project files, you should see ue5.sln, which is the Visual Studio project file. Open it by double-clicking, and in Visual Studio you can navigate to the UE5 project, right-click on it and select Build. And now you have to wait. Depending on your hardware, the process of building the engine can take a while. But once the build finishes, you are ready to go. To launch the editor or start a new project with this version of the engine, go to Engine, Binaries, Win64 and look for the Unreal Editor executable. Otherwise, to use this engine with an existing project, right-click the U project file of the project, choose Show More Options and set the engine version to the source build. And that's it. You have got Unreal Engine built from source and ready to use. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.